Hello, my name is Joe Walker. I am 6 years old and I'm a certified public accountant and I specialize in forensics of accounting.
Tell me about your career development.
Of course, I graduated from Georgia Tech in 1987 at the top of my class to become a certified public accountant. And following that, I was highly recruited by what were at the time the Big 8 certified public accounting firms, one of them being Arthur Andersen, who I then began to work for. During my time in Arthur Andersen, I quickly became manager within 3 years. Typically, it takes about 4 to 5. But after my 3 years there, I then split up to create my own accounting firm called Accountability, which is a team of me and 5 other people. And I've been a certified public accountant ever since. And then in 2010, I became a certified fraud examiner in pursuing my education within the field since as well.
Let the record reflect, I am now approaching the opposing counsel with what has been previously been identified as Exhibit 1. Permission to approach the witness?
Sherman, you said Exhibit 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may.
Let the record reflect, I am now approaching the witness with what has been previously been identified as Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize this document?
This is my resume.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of your resume?
Yes, it is.
And is it substantially the same as you last remember it?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I tender what has previously been identified as Exhibit 1 into evidence as Exhibit 1.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, once admitted.
Could you talk about your memberships?
Of course, I'm a part of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, the Georgia Society of Certified Public Accountants, as well as the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants.
Approximately how long have you been a forensic accountant?
Ever since 2010, so roughly 15 years, and I've been continuing my education within that field.
Your Honor, at this time, the state offers Joe Walker as an expert in the field of accounting and forensic accounting.
Accounting and forensic accounting.
And forensic accounting.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the witness is so tendered and qualified.
Mr. Walker, could you talk briefly what is forensic accounting?
Yes, so forensic accounting uses my auditing and accounting skills to then look within a business financial records to detect fraud. So what I would say my overall mission as a forensic accountant is one, detect theft within the business, but also help prevent possible theft and fraud in the future for that business.
What are common types of fraud you see?
Well, there are many different types of fraud, but I would say the most common would be deposit manipulation and skimming.
Okay. Moving on, how did you first become involved with the Georgian Bistro?
Logan Haynes contacted me on August 25th after I gave a presentation at the Milton County Chambers of Commerce called Realizing Your Full Potential. And there I gave a presentation on methods to increase profit as well as internal techniques to reduce employee theft within the business. And Logan Haynes was in the audience and contacted me for my services following.
Why did he contact you?
He wanted me to perform a financial audit over the Georgian Bistro and wanted to know why the restaurant was in the red, even though business and overall customers seemed to be doing good.
Was there any suspicion of fraud at that point in time?
No, not at the time.
When did you begin your work?
I began working on a Tuesday, September 9th, 2025.
What was the environment like at the Georgian Bistro?
The environment was really nice there, really warm. All the wait staff were nice, respectful, a very welcoming place. The food was pretty good. Overall, I had a good time.
How did Logan and Zoe split up the work at the restaurant?
Logan handled much more of the environment side of the restaurant, so he dealt with menus, wait staff, the kitchen. He ordered food. He kept the customers happy. Zoe dealt with the financial side of the business. She wrote checks to the bank. She dealt with deposits. She was on register, all the financial side of the business.
Did Logan ever work on anything financial?
No, he did not. While talking to him during my investigation at the bistro, I could tell he did not have a good sense of the financial side. He left all of that up with Zoe.
What records did you review during your investigation?
I reviewed ledgers, the deposits, both cash and credit, as well as bank statements. Everywhere money flowed through, I investigated.
Let the record reflect, I am now approaching the opposing counsel with what has been previously been identified as Exhibits 2, 3, and 4. Permission to approach the witness?
You may.
Let the record reflect, I am now approaching the witness with what has been previously been identified as Exhibits 2, 3, and 4. Do you recognize these documents?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize these documents?
These were some of the financial records at the Georgian Bistro, which showed discrepancies leading to showing theft caused by Zoe Torrance.
Are they fair and accurate depictions of these records?
Yes, they are.
And are they substantially the same as you last remember them?
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, I tender what has previously been identified as Exhibits 2, 3, and 4 into evidence as Exhibits 2, 3, and 4.
Let's take them one at a time, if we can. So Exhibit 2. Can we, since you did as a bulk, could you identify what Exhibit 2 is?
Yes.
That's what I said, is there, in case there's gonna be an objection?
Do you want me to?
Just, that's what I'm trying to make sure I understand, so we all understand, because saying generic in 2, 3, and 4, I don't know what we're talking about, so let's, Exhibit 2. Is there any objection to Exhibit 2? You don't know what 2 is, to object to it, so can we find out what 2 is?
Of course. Exhibit 2 shows cash register tapes from a day in July, as well as a receipt from that same day in July at the Georgian Bistro.
Any objection to the admission of 2?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 2's in. Let's go for 3. Identify 3, please.
Exhibit 3 shows 2 additional cash register tapes from 2 days in August, as well as a deposit to the bank for August 11th.
Any objection on 3?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and 4?
Exhibit 4 shows a check registered for the Georgian Bistro, as well as a check written to and by Zoe Torrance.
Any objection to 4?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Could you talk about what these documents show?
Of course. So in Exhibit 2, it shows those cash register tapes, as well as a receipt from a day in July. And the cash register tapes show all the total transactions from that same day in July. However, if you look at the receipt, the total was not recorded in the cash register tape, which allowed Zoe to steal $101 from that day alone. Moving on to Exhibit 3, it shows 2 different cash register tapes from days in August, as well as a cash deposit, which the Georgian Bistro puts into the bank. And on the cash deposit, it shows a total of $587 recorded to the bank. However, if you look at the cash register tapes, it shows a total of roughly $5,300, which means Zoe Torrance stole just about $4,800 off those 2 days. Now, in Exhibit 4, it shows the check register, where they put all their checks into the bank, so a record of that, as well as a receipt written to Zoe Torrance by Zoe Torrance for $3,000. Now, what Zoe did here was, before writing that check, wrote a check to Supplies Unlimited, which is a supply vendor that they work with, for $3,093. And then she wrote that check to herself to cover that cost, put it in through the bank, and then marked it as void, and then erased it from the cash register or the check register to then steal $3,000 and leaving Supplies Unlimited with only $93 from that.
What types of fraud did you identify from these records?
Exhibit 2 is an example of skimming, Exhibit 3 is an example of deposit manipulation, and Exhibit 4 is an example of check fraud.
Over what period of time did this theft occur?
This happened over a 2-year period.
What financial condition did this leave the Georgian Bistro in?
Financially, left it in a really bad condition. During my investigation, I found a total of 67 instances of theft by Zoe Torrance, which totaled just about $273,000. They are unable to pay back their loans and debts to the bank and are right now operating at a net negative of $164,000.
When did you tell Logan of your findings?
I told him when I finished my investigation, which was a Friday, September 19th, 2025.
How did he react to this?
Initially, he was very shocked once I told him that Zoe has been stealing from the restaurant, but as I was going into more detail about everything that she did and how she stole, he began to get angrier and angrier, even repeating, "How could this happen? How could this happen?" And once I finally told him everything about my investigation, I can only describe him as what was pure rage coming off of Logan. He said, well, I'll make Zoe pay for this and she won't make a fool out of me.
After leaving the Georgian bistro that day, why did you return?
Initially, I was just going to go home, job's all finished, right? But once I got in my car, I realized I forgot back a mechanical pencil that I left there. So I went to go retrieve that. And when I was grabbing that, I overheard an argument between Logan Haynes and Zoe Torrance in the kitchen.
What were they arguing about?
I remember hearing Zoe say Sasha and gambling and winning the money right then, but after she said that, I heard Logan threaten to kill Zoe.
During your investigation at the Georgian bistro, did you review any other important documents?
Yes, I came across a buy-sell agreement between Logan Haynes and Zoe Torrance.
Let the record reflect I'm now approaching the opposing counsel with what has been previously been identified as Exhibit 5. Permission to approach the witness?
You may.
Let the record reflect I am now approaching the witness with what has been previously identified as Exhibit 5. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I did.
How do you recognize this document?
This is a buy-sell agreement between Logan Haynes and Zoe Torrance that I found during my investigation at the Georgian Bistro.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the agreement?
Yes, it is.
And is it substantially the same as you last remember it?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I tender what has previously been identified as Exhibit 5 into evidence as Exhibit 5.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
5 is admitted.
Mr. Walker, could you talk about what this agreement states?
Yes, so it is a buy-sell agreement between Logan and Zoe with a cash payout of $500,000. And what it entails is that if either Logan or Zoe were to pass away, then the surviving partner would receive $500,000 from this. However, the surviving partner would not receive this money if the cause of death by the deceased partner was due to the hands of the surviving partner.
Is this type of insurance common within business partnerships?
I would say so. Typically, the money is there to buy out the family of the deceased in case they wanted to try to run or take over the business. So, pretty smart business move.
How much would Logan receive upon Zoe's death?
Logan would receive $500,000.
And how much did Zoe steal from the restaurant?
She stole $273,000 from the Georgian Bistro.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. The defense wish to inquire.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Walker, you had no previous relationship with Logan nor Zoe before Logan hired you for accounting purposes only, correct?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Which means that you cannot accurately describe their true personalities or tendencies, correct?
No, but I did get a brief feel of who they were in that 2-week period I was working with them.
Yes, sir. You claim that Logan Haynes threatened to kill Zoe Torrance, correct?
Yes, he did threaten to kill Zoe Torrance.
However, you yourself say that that conversation was a little fuzzy because there was a lot of background noise and you couldn't make out exact words, correct?
I mean, there was a bullhorn going out outside the restaurant, but I got a good gist of what they were talking about. I just can't remember the exact wording.
But you could have misheard this whole conversation altogether due to the noise, correct?
No, I did hear parts of the conversation, and I got a good gist of what they were talking about.
Right. May I confer with my co-counsel?
Yes.
My apologies. You reviewed the buy-sell agreement, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you agreed that, or you're under the impression that Zoe initiated this document, correct?
From what I understand, yes.
Right. So you have no real proof to show here in court today that Logan Haynes had anything to do with Zoe Torrance's murder, other than a fuzzy conversation.
I mean, she did steal a lot of money from the restaurant, and after I told him about that, he even threatened to kill Zoe, so I mean, there's that as well.
Right. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Can the witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State party next witness.
The state calls Sasha.